Welcome to NSR Talks, and today we're going to be discussing why that heartbreak actually saved your life. Now, we live in a generation where a lot of men are in relationships that they're not ready for. We live in a generation where a lot of men are chasing love. A lot of men can't function by themselves. A lot of men have to have a woman in their life to feel validation. And when everything ends, they don't really know who they are because they put their whole identity into a woman, into a relationship, into a vision that was never actually solid, And I feel like after a heartbreak, men, they spiral down. A lot of men crash out. They kill the woman. They kill themselves. They unalive, the woman and her children if they were dating a single mom. Because at the end of the day, the woman, she doesn't know, she's just a woman. She's just there to pass on a man's legacy, which is his kids. As a man, you're the one who's supposed to be in control. You're the man who's supposed to be in control of your emotions, in control of your life, in control of everything, And I feel like when you're in a relationship, you can't focus on yourself. You really can't focus on your goals and your dreams because you have a whole nother obligation. You have a whole nother human that's relying on you for emotional support, financial support, and a lot of different support. And if you're not ready for that, it's going to really tear you away from what you really should be focusing on, which is your kingdom. And I feel like as a man, you're supposed to build your kingdom alone. Because a lot of dudes, they talk about they want to build with a woman. They want to build with... No, you don't build with a woman. A woman is supposed to come into something that you've already built because you're the head, and you're in control. That's why a lot of dudes are not in control of their relationships because they're letting a woman control them. They're letting a woman control their mind and their actions. And at the end of the day, women are not really good at making decisions. Women look to men to make decisions, Strong men. If a woman has to make the decision, it's like, are you really the man in the relationship? Because as a man, we're leaders. We're natural born leaders. We're naturally wired to fix things. We're naturally wired to, break through barriers and solve problems. Women, they're more wired to, connect and, build and nurture and build families. You know what I mean? So I feel like that heartbreak, when a woman breaks your heart, she's actually doing you a favor because now you can get back into yourself and focus on what you really need to be focused on, which is your life and your mission, because you shouldn't have been in that relationship in the first place. It was really distracting you because you really were distracted by an illusion of a future that you thought you was going to have with this woman. You thought you was going to build an empire with her, but no, the empire should have already been built before she came. Because if the empire is not built and the bricks are not laid, a woman could easily take you off of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's happened to me multiple times. Every time I've been in a relationship, I always lost focus, because I wasn't fully established, and I'm still not fully established. That's the reason why I'm staying away from women, because at the end of the day, a woman is supposed to be a plus to your life, not your entire life. You know what I mean? And a lot of dudes, they make the woman their entire life, and they literally abandon what matters most, which is their mission. And I'm going to keep pushing this message over and over and over. Build your kingdom, build your life, build your mission. Find out what your mission is, because a lot of people don't even know what their mission is. They don't know what they're here for. They're just circling through life and going through the motions and just following society standards. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you keep doing that, you're going to wake up one day and realize, damn, my whole life has passed me, and I spent my whole life chasing illusions. And you got to wake up to the real life. You got to wake up to the real world. You got to wake up to what really matters. And what really matters is building your kingdom, because as a man, we are builders. Who built the world? Who built all the skyscrapers? Men. We build stuff. That's what we're made for. We're not made to sit around cuddling and eating chocolate chips with a woman in front of a TV, focusing on her, because she don't want you to focus on her. She wants you to focus on your mission. But a woman, they naturally, if you're not strong, they're naturally going to make you stronger because they want strong men. If a woman breaks your heart, guess what? It was for the better, because now you can focus on what really matters. So that heartbreak or whatever, that breakup actually saved your life. Now you can go focus on what you were supposed to be focused on from the jump, and that's your mission. This has been NSR Talks. Thank you guys for coming through.